Hi, my name is Riley Allen. This is my review of Season 1, Episode 1 of Star Wars The Clone Wars titled Ambush. Now, I know the Clone Wars is kind of in a mismatch type of order. There's an episode, I think, in maybe later this season or Season 2 supposed to take place before the movie arc. And there's episodes that take place before several other arcs, but I'm just gonna watch the order they have it on Disney Plus. So Season 1, Episode 1, Ambush. I think this was the release order, and if so, I feel like they kind of screwed the pooch with this. This could have been Episode 5, maybe. It'd have been fine. Because when I think of Star Wars, this point in time, I think Obi-Wan and Anakin. I mean, yes, Yoda, but mostly when you think of the Clone Wars, you think Obi-Wan, Anakin, Rex, Cody, and Ahsoka. The first episode is about Yoda, Asajj Ventress, and some clones and other characters that hardly ever appear again, don't ever appear again. So, the plot is Yoda is trying to negotiate a treaty with Toydarian King Katunko to have a republic base on his planet. But the Confederacy also want a base, so they send Asajj Ventress. The Jedi send Yoda, and he only brings 3 dudes. Well, no, he doesn't bring 3 dudes. He is attacked in space, so he's forced to only take 3 dudes. So Katunko's I've heard that 1 Jedi is worth 100 battle droids, and I don't know who he heard that from, but we have seen that being disproven. Yeah, we've seen that disproven in the Battle of Geonosis. Side note, I'd also like to say that this episode would have been a lot shorter if it was any other Jedi than the Grand Master of the very Grand Master of the Order. So Asajj Ventress is bet and sends about a crap ton of droids after Yoda and these 3 clones. Now, they basically kind of have a little guerrilla warfare against these guys, because that's what they have to do. They're outnumbered, they're outgunned, they slowly lose ammo and ammunition and all that, ammunition and whatnot. And Yoda proceeds to give these guys a good speech. Yes, you all look the same, but it's your hearts that differentiate yourself. It's your personalities that differentiate yourself. You know, basically, this is trying to the Grand Master is gonna Grand Master. He's basically teaching these young Padawans, to come into themselves, for the war or whatever. So the clones' names are Reese, Thyre, and Jek. Now, I did some research, and I think it's been retconned and canonized that one of the 2 clones that tries to kill Yoda in Order 66 on Kashyyyk, one of them is Gree, and the other is one of these clones, Jek. While one of the clones that is on Mustafar with Sidious is Thyre. Reese does not appear again. It doesn't say he appears again. So, I mean, those are cool little retcons that basically, if you do the research, I guess it can help you. This isn't one of those things where it helps the plot. Watching the Clone Wars, you get to know characters like Plo Koon, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and you get to basically react to their deaths in Revenge of the Sith and be heartbroken, because these characters now. They're not just names, they're characters. Jek and Thyre are not those people. Jek is not that person. Maybe if you want to do the research, maybe you're a nerd like me and go and research it, you'll be oh no, man, that was Yoda's guy. That was one of Yoda's guys, and he killed him. That's sad, because I guess Yoda doesn't really have guys, but I guess Jek was one of them. The closest he could have to his own clone. Say it. But yeah, other than that, those 2 little retcons don't add anything other than minor world building. But I thought it was neat, so I was gonna mention it. So I decided to mention it. So Yoda basically goes beast mode, you know. This should be titled, you know, the episode where Yoda lets out his full gremlin. Basically solos the entire opposing army. Side note, why are we not sending Yoda out more on missions? Give Yoda an army. See what that guy can do. Or does he have like a 2-year power up? Like, oh, that's me for 2 years. Like, is he just, you know, looking at the carnage and be like, yep. So, looking at all the other Jedi, you know, be like, yeah, I see you guys. Yeah, you got this. Great. I'm going to go sit in my chair, and I'm going to, you know, send you all to your deaths. Yeah, I did my part. You see, that was me. That was me. I don't think we see Yoda do much more like this in like, the series. And that's a damn shame. But, like, also, I understand it because the Jedi Order is, I guess, like, now the army. So, he'd be the commanding general, and he's got a command from all fronts. So, I guess I understand why he doesn't do it more. And also, I guess it wouldn't be fun if you know, have every episode where, like, well, we sent in Yoda, and he won the battle in, like, 3 seconds. So, you know, I mean, that was that. So, at one point, you know, Asajj is like, yeah, this ain't going good. So she sends in some droidekas, which are the roller droids that have a force field. Yoda's preoccupied with all these tanks he's destroying. So the clones grab a grenade launcher or something like that, a rocket launcher, destroy part of a canyon and destroy those droids, saving the day. They manage to get, to where the meeting's supposed to take place, and, you know, Asajj doesn't like that they, basically passed the test or whatever. And Katunko is getting kind of snippy, and he's like, you're right, Count Dooku, because Count Dooku's on message, I guess. You're right, Count Dooku, a Jedi isn't worth 100 battle droids. They're worth 1,000 or some shit like that. First off. No. This is Yoda, the Grand Master of the Order. If you're sending, like, 90% of the other Jedi into this situation, they're gonna die. Okay? They're gonna die. That's that. Most people who were outgunned 100-4 aren't gonna, you know, make it. Yoda is just like the Grandmaster, you know. I'm assuming they don't just hand out the Grandmaster title to, you know, every Joe Schmo in the Jedi Order. Same with, like, the Council. I'm assuming if you made it on the Council, it means, like, you're one of the greatest fighters in the Order. You're one of the best diplomats of the Order. Like, I'm assuming if you're on the Jedi Council, it's because you're the best at something. Like, whether you're one of the better fighters of the Order, you're one of the most well-respected, maybe not even well-respected. Well, yeah, well-respected, because you can't be well-respected without being at least competent in something. So, like, researchers, diplomats, you know, something like that. So, I'm assuming, like, most of the Council could do this, other than Coleman Trevor, because that guy got soloed in the Battle of Geonosis, like, by a bounty hunter, but also that bounty hunter was Jango Fett, and he's, I think, canonically a Jedi killer? I don't know. So, they agree. Katunko agrees that the Republic can use a base. Asajj gets kind of a little pissy and tries to detonate a rock wall, which is going to crush everybody to death. But Yoda saves the day. The end. Episode end. Overall, I'd give this episode about a 7. It's always a treat to see Yoda be like a absolute gremlin, you know? Just like a unit soloing it. It's always a little treat to see Yoda fighting. I did like that Yoda looked at Asajj and said, you still have a lot to learn, you know? When she was trying to kill Katunko and his men, And he summoned her lightsabers, looked at it, and said, "You still have a lot to learn, young one." Yoda really just told this woman, skill issues, try again. As an episode, this is a 7 out of 10 due to everything that... Like, the only downside is, I guess, you know, because when you think of the Clone Wars, you think of Obi-Wan, Anakin, and Ahsoka, but, you know, of course there is other aspects, other characters, and Yoda is at least a pretty big one, so, I mean... And also, it just kind of feels like kind of disconnected, like it... I don't know. It was fun, but not... 7 out of 10. Thanks for watching the video. Leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you in the next video.